All right, so these are my 2016 WWE TLC official predictions. Starting off with the SmackDown Tag Team championship match. It's going to be Heath Slater and Rhino versus Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Um, Now, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton have kind of been skyrocketed to the kind of like the main event scene. There wasn't really a tournament or number one contenders. Like they kind of just got the spot really because they won at Survivor Series, and were sole survivors. And there's so many other teams that kind of were like really fighting for that spot, and they just handed it to them. I don't really understand why. I really wanted to see American Alpha, but nonetheless, I think Heath Slater and Rhino haven't been on TV much. They're kind of fading out. Like, they had their big moment. Really, Heath Slater had his big moment. Rhino got a couple of good gores in there, kind of ECW flashback and everything. But, their hype just died down, and they're not really very relevant anymore. They're kind of just there. So I think that Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton are going to win the tag team championships. And, and I think the reason for that is because it's going to carry on to like the Royal Rumble, maybe, or whatever. I don't know if there's another pay-per-view in between WrestleMania. And I think that Randy Orton's going to turn on Bray, yes, but not yet. So for right now, I think they're going to win the titles. And they're going to move on and feud later on. Moving on, we have Kalisto versus Baron Corbin in a chairs match. I hate that it's a chairs match. I don't understand the chairs match concept because you can hit someone in the face with a chair, but if you get like a kendo stick, you're disqualified. I don't really get that. Apart from that, we always see the stupid spot where they throw all their chairs on top of the person, or they DDT them or suplex them onto the chairs. I don't know. It's just very limiting. But that aside, I think it'll probably be a decent match. But these big guy versus little guys tend to be kind of like they're not that good. I don't know. It's just a big guy beating on the little guy, and then you see a little guy do all these cool moves to kind of fight back, but the big guy always wins, so I'm going to go for Baron Corbin. He's had a lot of spotlight time, and especially on Talking Smack and backstage interviews and stuff. And I feel like they're kind of just pushing him to something bigger. I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. Moving on, we have the Intercontinental Championship match. It's going to be The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match. Dolph Ziggler has no chance in hell. He doesn't. He got the title, and he just, who knows? Like, I kind of forgot he even had the title, honestly, because The Miz is really, he's really brought that title out into the spotlight more. Most of his promos incorporate the title somehow, and talking about how prestigious it is and everything. And I don't know, it's just, even though he's kind of an annoying character, he plays that heel role well. And Dolph Ziggler, he's a very great worker, but I don't know what it is with him. He just kind of fizzles out, and there's just no chance in hell he's going to win. He's going to lose, but it'll be a very good match. I think it'll probably be the best match of the night, honestly, because The Miz and Dolph have great chemistry. But like I said, I'm going with The Miz. Moving on, we have Nikki Bella versus Carmella for a no disqualification match. I think this will be a underwhelming match. The reason I say that is because when you think no DQ, you're thinking, tables, chairs, all this crazy shit. And I just don't think it's going to go down that way. I think that 90% of the match is probably be really standard. And then towards the end, there'll be something like maybe a kendo stick or a fight in the audience spot. Nothing crazy. There's not going to be a moonsault off the table. There's not going to be a table spot. Definitely not. And there may even be some interference. I feel like Natalya is going to come in and beat up Nikki Bella. And I think that's why the no DQ was set up. I don't think it's going to be an outstanding match, but it'll be a decent match. But I'm going to go with Carmella. I think that Nikki Bella is the very obvious choice just because of how popular she is. And I think that's exactly why she's going to lose. I think this will be the one swerve match where they're going to try to say, surprise everyone and say, nope, Carmella's winning this one. I think that Carmella needs it too, just to kind of like get something under her. You know, Nikki Bella's got her title run, she's got the show, she's got John Cena, all this stuff, but Carmella really doesn't have much ever since she disbanded from Enzo and Cass. Like, she's just there. She hasn't really had any big wins. Hell, I don't even remember if she's ever won since she came to SmackDown. But I think this is gonna be her, her highlight moment. So going with Carmella. Moving on, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line with Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss in a tables match. This will be a very good match, I think, because I think they're going to try to live up to what Hell in a Cell was, the main event between Sasha and Charlotte. Though they don't really have to try that hard because all they have to do is really break a table, and really they've topped Hell in a Cell because, they couldn't really do that in Hell in a Cell. I mean, apart from the announcer's table, if you want to go there. But nonetheless, I think it's going to be a good match. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy sometimes with table matches because, like, it's not, I don't know. It's called tables plural, but you really break one table, the match is over. There's not going to be a bunch of tables breaking, There's not going to be ladders or chairs or any of this crazy stuff. So it's probably just going to be a regular match. They're going to set up a cool table spot, and I just hope it works, because they're really tiny women. I hope they break it. I didn't like the table spot on SmackDown, this past SmackDown, where Becky Lynch kind of just fell back from the turnbuckle, because that's kind of like the move they did with Charlotte, where Charlotte fell back, but only that one was outside of the ropes. So it was a similar spot. I like to see suplexes or any even a dive from the turnbuckle. I think wouldn't have been too bad for the women. I think they were playing a little bit too safe, and I don't like that. But anyway, I think this will be a very good match, and I'm going with Becky Lynch. She's just been on fire. She's been a great champion. And although Alexa Bliss has, she's got what it takes to be a really good heel champion. Like, she really does. And really there's no better heel champion or potential champion on SmackDown Live right now. So she could pull the win too, but I'm just going with Becky Lynch because she's my personal favorite right now. So moving on, we have the main event, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose for the WWE World Championship. It's going to be tables, ladders, and chairs match, and this one will be an outstanding match. They've already had great matches, so you add in the table, ladders, and chairs, I think it'll be really, really good. Dean is definitely not winning. He's just not, because they're going to need AJ Styles going towards the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and they're going to need him with the title on so that they can use him in some big feud going forward. So I think that AJ is going to retain, but I think it's going to be a really good match, and I think that James Ellsworth is somehow going to come back, even though he's basically has a broken neck or he's injured, whatever. They're going to no-sell the injury. He's going to come back, and I think he could even maybe cost the match for Dean, and then Dean and him will feud at, Royal Rumble or wherever, which will probably be really lame, but I think that's the direction that they're going to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and go with AJ Styles.